Last week on the Glass Cannon podcast.
What do you want to do, though? Do you want to go straight to Patsy's?
I want to go straight to the arches.
While scouting the grounds of an ancient monument,
One never forgets their first sight of the Sevenarches.
the heroes approached carefully.
It's unfortunate that they put this rope around it, though. You can't even get close. You can't even look at it.
And discovered its magical defenses.
At one point, you see a bird. And it goes and it lands on the rope. And when it lands on the rope, there's like this, almost like a human scream.
With no time to lose,
Whatever we're going to have to do to get in, we're going to have to either disable or work around the trap.
I think I might have a way to defeat the rope.
they executed a daring plan.
You extend the aura recorder. You hold it there, and you know that time of the alarm is going to run out.
To expose the truth.
18 seconds pass, and suddenly the bulb at the end kind of looks like a mace head, lights up like a torch.
The adventure continues. Now.
Welcome back to the Glass Cannon podcast. I know what you're thinking. Wow, Troy, that sweet dragon shirt is making me feel things that I've never felt before. Where can I buy one? Why, you can get it from our store, glasscannonnetwork.com. Available now. Yeah.
You think that they thought that in the first 1 second that the screen went on?
Immediately, their brain
Instantaneously.
Where can I buy that? You can buy it. It's for sale in our store.
It's so shameless.
And where is that store, Troy?
I'm so glad you asked. It's glasscannonnetwork.com/store. Just making sure.
Sorry, I'm just trying to type that. Can you spell that?
Yep. STORE. glasscannonnetwork.com/store. There's a lot of N's in there. Don't be shy. Throw them all in. Otherwise, you're going to end up on the wrong site. What do you think of my shirt?
Is that today's band topic?
Okay, I already lost on banter topic.
Talking about your shirt.
He's done a 180. He was really confident. He thinks everyone loves the shirt, and now
And now he needs some more. He needs
the truth is coming out. He's unsure about the shirt.
I don't know what the lighting is like in the cameras, but from my angle of my actual eyes to the background that you're set against, I can't discern what is the shirt and what is the background. It's
You're
really,
just like staring into the mouth of hell.
you're wearing camouflage.
Yeah,
right now.
I wanted to wear this just last week. I wore the Lit shirt, also for sale. Didn't make any.
That shirt is dope.
It's pretty dope. I didn't make a big deal about it, but the red shirt. I'm not a let's wear a red shirt type of guy.
I've never seen you in a red shirt. I've seen you in a red sock shirt, but never a red shirt.
Just a pure red shirt. Yeah,
Red shirts are tough.
Yeah.
They're tough to pull off.
I've seen you in a lot.
Unless you're giving up a year of your college eligibility.
right, or if you're like a quarterback during the preseason
Training camp.
Training camp. Yeah.
Yeah.
All this talk of merchandise is making me thirsty, so it's a good thing I have my glass cannon ice.
Oh my God.
Where can I get one of those? Would I have to go to glasscannonnetwork.com/store?
You know what? Let's check.
What did you have your cup on right here?
Oh, is this a branded coaster?
Oh, look, it's on glasscannonnetwork.com/store as well.
Right now?
Right now.
You guys are so natural at ad reads.
I'm honestly scared that everything is going to end up on the Glass Cannon store. Why is this happening?
You like Sydney's weird shirt? Go to glasscannonnetwork.com/store.
I'm being sucked into the store.
Sydney was just complimented by a barista.
And what else did they say?
Yeah, I'll do a reenactment. Thank you, sir. Here's 20% tip. And
Oh, see, that's what it is.
You said that out loud?
You just paid him to give you a compliment.
I'm
That's all it
narrating.
was.
The shirt compliment happened before the tip.
No, here's what really happened. I walked in, he said, cool shirt. And I said, oh, thank you. He goes, it's cool. It's so funky. And then he made my drink. I said, thanks. And he goes, you remind me of somebody. And every time this happens, there's a split second where I'm like, Glass Cannon? And it's usually not.
Rude.
He said,
Very rude.
I said,
Why would you do that?
Just the average barista in Astoria is going to be like, I know you from the Glass Cannon.
it's happened. But I said, whatever. I look like people. And he goes, I know who it is. Dua Lipa.
Did he say, you look like Dua Lipa if John Waters chose your wardrobe?
My eyes probably popped out of my head. I went, Dua Lipa? And then I said, thanks so much. That made my day. And he laughed. And I left the store. And then I walked with Matthew and Kate and I said, I can die now.
Dua Lipa. I looked up blonde Dua Lipa. I see it.
Thanks, Troy. You're making my day.
I wonder what Dua Lipa would look like in this red dragon.
She could go to glasscannon.com/store and
Shop it.
She would never.
She could
Glass
not.
Cannon Network.
Oh, sorry, Glass Cannon.
Glass Cannon.
Jared does the same thing all the time. He's like, just go over to the glasscannon.com.
Why don't you make a redirect?
Why say it if you're not sure?
Why not buy that?
Say it.
Hey,
Say
redirect.
our website.
Make him a
Gotta
redirect.
Buy that domain and make a redirect to the network. Or
Maybe
just
we will.
keep
A member
it
of the
Glass
Naish
Cannon.
owns it and is willing to sell it for $180,000.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh,
I
that
was
would
to go fight them personally.
You would fight them?
Yes, of course, I would win.
I have a lot of questions.
She can't. She's done all the fight training and stuff. She
That's
can do
true.
It.
I have
Talked about this.
I have a lot of topics and questions to talk about, but first of all, I'd like to point out that Sydney we're 3 episodes in, and she's already broken the don't put a bland container on the table rule.
You're only allowed to put branded content on the table.
perfect.
I'm even keeping my word.
Block the.
That's what Dua Lipa would do. That's terrible. That's like an old, sad coffee in there, and you're drinking
a dirty cup. That's how we sell it. How we push the merch.
tapioca milk tea. Is that still a thing?
I actually was really jealous. I almost walked back up into that gentleman and asked him for a boba.
And then he would have been like, you remind me of someone.
You remind me. Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
And I would have walked back and go, hold on a
He's just
second.
been saying it to
Dua
everyone
Lipa's
all
friend.
day.
Tell everybody.
I am.
You remind me of Dua Lipa's
him.
manager.
Here's my question today. If you could press a button and have something immediately delivered to you, what would it be?
Whoa.
Like right now?
I know it's
I just did it.
I would choose a nice old fashioned. No, Manhattan. A Manhattan on the rocks with a nice ride.
You mean at any time or just now?
Right now.
Just right now in this minute.
I would
one-time
love.
right now thing.
I would love a nice.
You know, I was going to actually say an ice cold beer would be great to sit and have a beer while we play a game. But like this lighting does lend itself to an old fashioned.
Right? It feels fancy.
It feels like we're sitting by a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's old-fashioned lighting.
It sure is.
Yes, it is.
What would you get?
I can push a button and anything I want.
It doesn't have to be a food or drink, but you get it right now. What would
World peace.
Oh, my damn it.
Cut that.
You said it doesn't have to be
Now-
food or drink. It can be anything I want.
All of our answers are going to be like, not good enough.
I know you've ruined. I should have went to you last. Then we would have all felt bad. Now we're just they're on the hot seat here. Kate, what would you get?
I was going to worry that you were like being super imaginative. You
No.
were just an asshole.
He's just trying to get into heaven.
I don't believe in heaven. But why am I an asshole for wanting world peace, Joe?
Oh,
For
God.
saying it at a table like this, at a
Yeah.
time like this.
It's
In
not
this
the time
economy,
or the
This
place.
is not the time
not
or
the
the
time or
place,
the place,
to bring up
exactly.
something as disgusting as world peace.
Seconds after Joe and I ordered a cocktail.
Look how big that looks to make them look.
I've lost my appetite. I'm not going to order anything.
You can order world peace.
No, you already have.
I'm gonna
I don't need
We already
to.
have it. We've got it. Unless you're not pushing the button.
Well, now you can have a
Oh.
cocktail.
Oh,
that's
that's the
true.
saddest thing. Matthew has a button that can give world peace and he doesn't press it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
What does that say about you?
Maybe the saddest thing of all is that I press it constantly.
You know what? I also don't think you answer the question because it's like, what would you want to have delivered?
Delivered.
To you?
Yeah.
All right.
Sir, would you sign here for world peace?
Sure.
Hey, Joe, a toast.
Big old box
to
of
world peace.
The world peace. He's like, I need 2 more signatures on this. Oh, sorry, we're busy.
The best is you get a box and it's like world peace, and you're like, amazing, it came, and you open it up and it's a gun. And you're like, what does this mean?
You figure it out.
You figure it out.
Engraved on the side is the peacemaker.
You know what to do.
You know what to do. It's one answer.
What's your button going to give you?
Gin and tonic, by the way. If we're doing cocktails.
Gin and tonic served in a gun.
What are you doing, Skid?
That's
All right, Sydney. Someone's going to just clip that with no audio context. Stop.
Weird episode this week, just Sydney.
That's the still on YouTube.
You've already had a little bit of an interaction in such a manner on social media about this already.
That's true.
Poor Kate. What would you get? A bubble tea?
Dua Lipa.
Do you get to
Just appear, just sent to the studio.
Because that would just be wild, and I feel like we get a lot of views.
Yeah, it's true.
That
popped
would
out of
up
the
the
thing.
subscriber numbers.
That's great. She's thinking of the
You
company.
rang?
She's not thinking of herself. That's
Like,
great.
hey.
And I was thinking of myself with world peace.
No, that was very
You
selfish.
could have anything you want.
I wanted to see who she's rep by. Ooh, different agency. Too bad.
We could have met her. We could have had her.
Yeah.
Could have almost literally pushed a button and had her delivered.
There's like a 50% chance we could have made some phone calls.
Yeah.
What would you get?
Just a cheeky like 10 mil.
Oh, so you're
like
just
a
going to
case
stack
of
of
cash.
cash?
Oh yeah.
That is way, way smarter than an old
Oh
fashioned.
my God, I feel so dumb.
I could get at least 10.
It's not a
old-fashioned.
genie. It's like, what do you want for
You
this?
said anything. It doesn't have to be
I want
food or
more
drink.
buttons.
Well, if you want to break the game, sure.
Okay, my cheap answer is I guess I would.
Cheap answer.
I guess.
You mean one step down from $10 million in a briefcase?
Yeah.
Whoa. She didn't say ask for a briefcase.
That's true.
You only get one thing, Joe.
You could buy a briefcase.
You know what I would have? There was a cocktail at our party at that really nice place that we went to.
Yep, don't say it aloud.
I'm not. I don't remember the name. I couldn't if I tried. There was like a lavender lemon sparkling wine, like topped with a sparkling wine cocktail.
Fun.
I
Did
would
it have
get,
a flower in it? I see
Yeah,
that. I
it
feel
did.
like there's a floating orchid in that drink.
there was something or a floating like burnt lemon slice or something. It was really good. I would get that cocktail.
Okay. See, now we're talking.
See, this is making
We're all just
sense.
saying cocktails because you didn't
Okay.
accept
Why didn't
our
you just ask
answers.
us what cocktail we would
Kate took Dua Lipa. Is Dua Lipa holding a cocktail and she hands it to you and then leaves?
Yes. Dua Lipa serving me a mocktail.
A mocktail.
And then gracefully bowing and leaving.
Yeah, then gracefully seeing herself out.
What a horrible choice. all around.
I have a follow-up question. Does anyone know who Dua Lipa is?
No, I don't.
Who is she, Joe?
I have never heard the name in my life.
Hold on, I have a follow-up question, Joe. Based off the name alone and my story about Dua Lipa looking like it's a woman like her, who do you think Dua Lipa
Tell
is?
us.
I don't know.
No, just like guess.
You,
like
you
yes.
know she is repped by a major agency.
celebrity.
That does.
I would say singer.
Nailed it.
I guessed.
You got by at the
I
cocktail
didn't know
party.
an actor named Dua Lipa.
A
I have a
woman
question
singer?
I have a follow-up question for you. How big is the rock that you live under?
It's really big. I don't interact with outside, forces.
Joe, you just saw a Barbie movie.
I did.
She's
Dua Lipa.
in Barbie movie.
She's in the movie?
Yeah.
She plays Mermaid Barbie.
Oh.
Oh, Dua Lipa.
She also has one of the songs. That
Yeah,
plays,
her-
right?
her
the,
music
the
is-
party
The party song, she
song
sings it.
where the Barbies are partying in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's a singer.
All right, great.
Nailed it.
Skid, what's
So she's an actress?
We're done with this question. You need to.
Leave it alone. Dua Lipa already delivered the
She's
drink.
a triple threat.
She's gone.
Your kids are going to be like, Dad, what's wrong with you? You don't know anything. In like 5 years.
Skid didn't know Dua Lipa.
I don't know who she
We
is.
don't blame Skid.
Skid used to date her or something. Like Skid always is like one. He's like Kevin Bacon. Oh, Dua Lipa, my uncle's nephew. That
I'd
would
have
be
to
me.
look. Maybe I'll have to look her.
My uncle's nephew. That's me. Right?
My uncle's daughter's neighbors in a poker game with Dua Lipa. How?
What's your button?
2 Butterfinger Blizzards
Oh, why two?
Ooh.
because I'm just hungry, and I want like some Hershey's chocolate syrup to put in it.
Oh, that sounds good.
So you have 3 buttons now, Skid?
No, it's one button that delivers a
Two.
package of
2 blizzards covered in.
Blizzard. That's what it delivers every time.
That sounds
Connected in cellophane, so it's just one order. But
Yeah.
there's
Tape them together.
so
I didn't
good.
think about the cellophane.
Yeah.
I'm going to Wappinger Falls this weekend, and there's a Dairy Queen there. and I might ask for that blizzard. But without
What's
that,
Wappinger
it's
Falls?
a city
In New York.
In
Did you make that
upstate?
up?
No, it's real.
It's real.
It's as real as this quick break. We'll be right back.
15, 13, 12, 11, 10. We have go for main engine start. 8, 7, 6. We have main engine start.
And we're back! We don't have any buttons, but we do have the best podcast in the world, as you'll soon see by episode 3. Once again, big shout out to our sponsors, Demiplane, Foundry VTT. Got to see a lot of Foundry last week. And Norse Foundry, who we'll be hearing about if and when we ever roll for initiative. Will we?
No.
Nah.
No. This is.
Well, I think it's going to be because we're just too smooth. I mean, the way things went last week,
Yeah,
I
we
feel
can
like
talk our way out of any
Exactly.
trouble.
I think Troy's too scared to roll for initiative.
Oh,
You may be right. I may be crazy, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to award the first bottle cap of the Glass Cannon Podcast Campaign 2. And it goes to Sydney for your holding onto the ropes while you vomit idea.
that is a good one.
That was pretty good.
The
That is
hairball.
the first bottle
First
cap.
cap. You got 2
job.
caps.
Thank you. I know. This is awesome.
That's scary.
I don't like that.
It hurts a little bit.
Troy, don't give
They
us
put
any
this
more
jagged
vodka.
metal right into my eye socket.
I'm bleeding.
It's too scary.
Where do we start? Last week. Ooh, boy. Oh, man. You enter the city of Sevenarches, a city that is built on top of the elven ruins of a city from long, long, long ago. The druids have taken over and everything is very nature-oriented. The people who live there, because it's not just druids. Druids sort of oversee the city. They have done their best to not to kind of ruin nature. You notice that things are sort of built around nature. They're trying to make everything in harmony with the trees and the bushes and whatnot because they don't want to piss off the druids. So you had a plan to go to Patsy's, a local pub here in Sevenarches, for ladies' night to maybe gather information. But instead you were like, you know what? Let's just go straight to the Central Plaza. Let's go to Arch Plaza and just like take a look at the arches. So you get over there, and sure enough, there are 2 oak stewards, these big dudes. They've got like, one guy's got a top knot with these like, almost look like antlers, this wooden crown of antlers, long green flowing robes, like a huge shillelagh like stick. And one guy is standing at the entrance, the other was sort of roaming around. And sure enough, there are Sevenarches and just like a bunch of little dwarf trees around it with a single rope tied around the trees and one opening.
I've been meaning to ask you since last week.
allow it.
I don't know if this is going to go the way of Dua Lipa, where I'm just the idiot, but what is a dwarf tree?
Yeah, are they
Just a little tree.
Are they planted by dwarves or they're
Are
favored
they
by
in honor of dwarves?
Have you ever heard of the expression dwarf planet?
I have.
Same thing.
No, dwarf star.
Dwarf planet too.
White dwarf.
Planets?
White dwarf?
There are dwarf planets?
Pluto.
Yeah.
It's not a planet.
Right. It's a
Dwarf
dwarf,
planet.
Dummy. This fucking guy.
Thanks for that.
All 9 planets, right, Matthew?
It's just a little tree.
It's
Okay.
a small tree.
It's not meant to grow extremely large.
Is it an actual species, or is any small tree
I really
called a
wouldn't
dwarf
overthink
tree?
the tree. It's not that important.
It's not about the tree.
Dwarf wheat is caused an agricultural revolution
Okay.
because it wasn't too heavy to fall over. The stalks could stay up and feed a lot more people.
Cut to the finale of this.
Pick the dwarves off of it and then
That's what
Dwarf trees exist in our world.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure
Yeah.
out.
They were like before bonsai.
All right, hold on. Let me just write.
I was going to cut to the finale of the show where
Dwarf
a gate
tree.
opens and a anthropomorphic dwarf tree walks out. You should have asked more questions.
It was right in front of you all along.
No, it's just a little tree. Not a big deal.
If this comes back, I swear. If this comes back around, I swear.
I would be playing a hell of a game of poker. Just a little tree. It's just my colorful language that I'm just reading directly from the book. You, Talitha Breakwater, investigator extraordinaire, wants to pursue a lead. Is this what this is?
I'm already pursuing.
Pursuing a lead. You pursue a lead. You go through this action where you're really studying, and you study for a minute, and then you roll perception, and you notice a small little sparrow lands on the rope, breaks the surface of the rope perhaps, and an alarm that sounds like a human squirrel screaming goes on for a minute, and you realize, okay, it is unsafe to try and just pass under that rope. But then Buggles wonders if there's a way perhaps you could disable it so that someone could sneak through and perhaps use the aura recorder that Fayanara gave you to test and see if these gates truly are real or not. So then you leave, you go to the bar, and no one gathers information. You just kind of talk out the plan, and you make a bit of a scene. There's a couple shady-looking characters watching you on the way out as you're making this scene, but you come up with a pretty good plan. Brother Ramius leaves a little bit earlier and just watches, seeing if anything changes, and it's dark out, and there are a couple people maybe straggling back from the bars going to their homes, but still, 2 oak stewards. Are they the same ones as before? It's hard to tell. One patrolling, one standing at the little opening. He watches, he feels confident that there are no X factors here. So then Lucky and Talitha, pretending to be drunk ladies, stumble over to one side and start being loud. One of the oak stewards, the one on patrol, comes over and is like, all right, quiet down, there are people living here. Lucky then pretends to vomit, having licked a bunch of her fur at the bar. This is what earns the bottle cap. And then vomits a hairball, and while doing so, holds onto the rope to set off the alarm. Really brilliant to vomit over it. So now Zephyr and Buggles realize they've got about a minute to try and pull this off. Buggles goes over, lifts up the rope. Zephyr slides underneath, holds the aura recorder for 18 seconds, and it lights up, mostly purple, a couple other bulbs as well. And that's where we start today.
Yeah. Jumping right into the actione.
Jumping right into the actione.
I'm throwing up.
You have perhaps seconds before this alarm stops. Maybe it's even already stopped. What do you want to do? Zephyr.
Maybe she's like for a second like in awe of the gates, but quickly snaps out of it and tries to scurry back under the rope.
I imagine you must have this feeling like you've been here now once in the afternoon or late afternoon, like you didn't feel sick, but there's that moment where it's like, do I feel sick? Do I feel something coming over me? Like a little something deep inside my stomach? Am I just imagining this?
You mean the way that you feel every day when you wake up?
All the time. You pull out and you slide under the rope, and you and Bungles just, head back into the night?
Yeah, I feel like we try to get back into the shadows and then meet up with everyone.
Yeah.
Can
back
I?
to Patsy's.
That's it.
All right, so I'm surveilling this whole scene.
Yeah,
so
you
can
see it
I
all.
I see them getting out and sneaking away?
You may even see like a tiny light from the end of the mace-like glass tube that Zephyr has.
At that point, he's gonna then Brother Ramius is going to, with a book in his hand, he's going to cast light on his book as he's like hiding back in the shadows by where the apple carts were earlier in the day. Mm-hmm. And a light will emanate out from him, and he'll kind of hold the book out and begin walking toward, Lucky and Talitha, making no secret of himself, just kind of walking forward and I didn't even think of this part, but calling fake names. Just Mara! Bertha! And he just starts walking through like he's looking for these kids.
Lucky and I make quick eye contact to try to decide who's Bertha and who's Mara.
Mara!
Oh no, Bertha, he's found us.
And so he'll walk up
I don't want
toward
to
the two
go.
of them.
I don't want to go back.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I'm so sorry. Talking to the Oak Steward.
We haven't drinking anything.
I didn't even.
You know you're not supposed to be out. It's past curfew. Now step back. Step away. Step away from these gates. They are sacred.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on. And she's just like on all fours is on the ground, and one last, and then she wipes her mouth. I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed.
Just please step back. Just
I
please
didn't
step
vomit
back.
at all.
Just. Which one of you, Mara? Step back.
The Oak Steward comes into your light here. I have some flickering light on you on Foundry.
I have it looked.
VTT, and it's like, please take. They've had too much to drink. They must leave. They're setting off alarms.
Here we
It's
go.
moving and shaking. Oh yeah, flickering light. This looks so much better. So yeah, he'll step up to the scene, and they say, "You got to go." He said, Of course. I'm so sorry for the disturbance.
Sorry.
Really, it's quite embarrassing. Please, Bertha. How many times have we talked about this? Come back to
Okay.
the inn.
Sorry, sir. I say to them.
And he'll just step back and he's not going to say any more. He's going to let them walk past him, and then he'll walk around behind them. Again, I'm so sorry to disturb you. I hope
quite
this
all right.
doesn't. I still wish to. I'm so sorry. And he'll scuttle away.
He just shakes his head, and that's where we fade out. The Oak Steward shaking his head. The three of you. We come back up at Patsy's. It's later now. It's maybe past midnight.
Okay. Patsy's open past midnight,
Yeah,
eh?
we'll say it's like New York
On a
hours.
Tuesday?
They're open to 4. On a Tuesday, they might close early. We'll see if there's not a lot of people in here besides the 5 of you.
What about those guys at the bar?
Gone.
You're gone?
And we're like looking shadily at them.
Damn it.
There's like a gaggle of dwarves that are still going at it, and a couple rabbit people
Rabbit people.
smoking carrots.
Thought that I hadn't had any today, but seeing strange things.
No, that's real.
Lucky, that was quite brilliant
Thank you. I
performance.
actually had a really bad hairball, and that actually just kind of came out. So kind of just worked in our favor, I suppose.
Zephyr, how do you feel?
Yes, how do you feel?
You're alive.
How do you fail?
I think I feel fine. I think I just have a little bit of anxiety, but the aura meter, it glowed. It mostly purple. I'm not sure what that means.
Is it still glowing?
If you hold it out, it's like held, whatever.
Oh,
it's
okay.
red, yeah. So it's mostly purple, but there's like little nodules around the edge of it. Some of them aren't lit, but some of them are with fainter colors, maybe a red, yellow, a bluish purple.
Do we have any way of interpreting these results?
I was going to say, can I roll an Arcana or some?
Yeah, absolutely.
And can I look around the bar to make sure nobody's looking at us as she's holding this thing
Oh,
up,
yeah, I
make sure
guess.
nobody sees it.
Natural 2.
Natural 2.
Natural 4.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't recognize it when she brought it out, and so it doesn't surprise you that you aren't quite sure how it works.
Natural 5.
Hold on, let me
On
roll.
perception.
Let me roll.
That's an adjusted
Natural
12.
3.
Natural 3.
Wow, starting off hot.
I'll
Guys-
get him out of the way.
Yeah, get him out.
Yeah, you know nothing, and no one's looking at you.
Forgive me, I don't have this in my notes. But when were we supposed to meet outside with Finara? Or
She said you can come back whenever
Just come
you
back
want.
at any time.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you, like, you were able to successfully find this. I mean, you don't know what's what, but do you want to try and find a place to stay here in the city
Yeah.
or head
Yeah.
back to
Yeah.
Mira? 'Cause
I think we should stay in tonight. I think it's actually the least suspicious thing than to try to
Yeah.
sneak back
Like
out of
sneak
town
back
after
out
I
of
just
town.
said I was here to research stuff. So.
And we can gather info maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're getting information for Fayanara,
Yeah.
who is going to exchange some information for us. Great. But Brother Ramius is very curious about these arches and wants to know if people are currently using them.
And we kind of got intel that maybe some people are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a bit above the guard's pay grade, he said. But he said at night sometimes. But he's not sure. I don't know.
Would it be worth it to stake it out
Perhaps.
long term?
But let's get some rest tonight. We've done
We need to
Good job.
we need to deliver the reader to Fayanara before we do anything else because she has information that we and Dr. Riddleson need.
That's fair.
Well, that can wait until tomorrow.
Agreed. That would be least suspicious.
Well,
The least suspicious.
let's turn in then.
I'll ask the barkeep if there's a room. Buggles,
He's shining a glass.
after you.
We're gonna be doing last call soon. Can I get you something?
Hello, good sir. We are in the market.
Hello?
Or hello, down here.
There you are.
We're in the market for a room or rooms. Do you know of any in the area that are reputable?
There's an inn down there in Boulevard.
Why didn't I think of that?
It's right down
Very
there.
easy town to navigate.
It's called Minotaur's Mansion. I'm sure they'll have rooms. What is it,
Minotaur's
Tuesday?
Mansion. Thank you. He says there's an inn over on Inn Boulevard called Minotaur's Mansion.
Oh, that sounds good.
Shall we, Ziffer?
Yeah. Let's go.
We must keep up the ruse.
Oh, please.
I'm so tired.
I just want to sleep, Brother Ramius.
I can't even move my feet.
Let's go. Let's go. Don't draw any more attention to us than necessary.
Why didn't you stop us?
Yeah, I had too much and I don't feel good.
You walk out of Patsy's, and we just see those two rabbits smoking carrots.
What is up with those rabbits? This is like multiple layers of mystery.
Why didn't we talk to those rabbit folk?
One of them blows smoke. It just fills up the screen. And in that smoke, we see a flashback to Brother Ramius's dream. Brother Ramius choking through the smoke of the great fire, looking out the window and seeing a figure staring up at him. Something that isn't from his real memory, but from the memory of this dream. And then trying to lift a chair up to smash through the glass to get to safety, and being too weak, falling to the ground and looking up and then seeing that figure just on the other side of the glass.
Wham!
Impossibly floating there with a white mask and giant horns.
You never gave us any details on the horns. Are they like curving up? Are they curving down? Are they spirals? Are they like, what do they look like?
Goat-like or ram-like?
Yeah, ram-like or like devil-like?
They're horns. It's hard to remember what they look like.
Follow-up question.
Yes.
Is this figure rabbit-like in any way?
No.
Just checking.
Not rabbit-like. Rabbit-like?
Rabbit-like?
Rabbit click?
Nor is it rabbit-like. And we fade out of that to you all waking up in the inn. No reason to roleplay you getting a room, because that would take us 25 minutes.
It would be so much fun.
There will be
Drunk
time.
ladies.
There will be time, Matthew. Don't worry.
A time when I'm less prepared. The booking of a room. Oh, I'm sorry, we're all out. Go try that in. It's a classic trait. But in this instance, you wake up and you, having experienced this dream, having remembered this dream, now have a power that has awakened within you. You all have these deviant feats. I don't think we even talked about this, maybe during the character creation session 0, but I don't know if we've talked about it since. The archetypes you chose from the adventure path, did they each give you access?
The background.
Yeah, the background, thank you.
Yeah, it gave us each a deviant ability, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Having experienced this dream, you now get a new ability. The Awakened Power feat.
What?
Which is tied to your
Add
deviant
feet?
What?
ability.
Did I have a dream?
How do you have a dream?
You did not, nor will you ever.
How do you have a dream?
How do you dream?
How does one create a dream?
What odd dreams?
What odd dream?
Awakened Power feat is a 4th level feat that you get access to. Your power spontaneously
4th level?
evolves or reconfigures itself. You gain 1 awakening benefit for a deviant feat of 4th level or lower. And this is a feat that you can take multiple times, but you were given this freely.
Amazing.
Yeah, so take a look at that. You don't have to answer it now unless you see something that jumps out at you, but
Gotcha.
know that you do have this this new power. And now I'm assuming you want to head to the caravanserai. Yeah?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
We can come back, but
Yeah, but we first need to report
Deliver.
the findings on the aura reader.
All right, you
Is it
leave the
still
city.
glowing?
It's still glowing. Yep, has not changed at all. So you leave the city, return
Watching behind us, make sure we're not being followed.
by rabbits or men with hats. You leave the city, you return to the caravanserai, and you get there, and it's people are. It's pretty big. There's a lot of people. Think of it as like a hotel without a roof. There's just lots of little stalls and people hanging out. There's baths. You ask around for Fainara, and someone points you to her tent, and you get there, and she is sitting outside of her tent, and she's washing her feet in like a bucket, and she sees you. Do you guys have the recorder out, or is it hidden as you walk up?
I probably have it in a bag. Yeah, as we walk up to her.
She sees you and she's like, "Oh, you have returned faster than I imagined. What news?"
I think that the arches might be real, so I pull out the reader and I hand it to her. And
She smiles as you hand it to her. She's like, "Oh no, they are not real. This is just as I suspected." And she points at the purple bulb. Illusion magic.
oh,
And then she points at one of the bulbs that is unlit and not a trace of conjuration. Those arches are as fake as a siren's tits.
What did you just say? What did you just say?
It's an old expression
Sayonara.
in my people.
What?
Yes, they are those arches are not real. This confirms.
Wait.
what
The
I
whole
thought.
city is built around them. The city was built to house and protect and study and worship them in a way.
were they replaced? Maybe.
She smiles, kind of like coyly. Come, sit, let me finish with my feet. Have orange juice. I have some fresh orange juice that I squeezed
Do you have any bagels?
while I was at there. No bagels. And she finishes.
Yeah, I'll be Atlee maybe.
She dries her feet, and you wonder to yourself, when did she squeeze that orange juice?
Where did you get the oranges?
Before, during, or after the washing of her feet? But it would be rude not to drink it, so you all drink her feet juice. And she settles back in her chair, and she's like, "You have done a great service to me, so here is what I know, with my suspicions confirmed about the arches in the Arch Plaza. I know that the real Sevenarches are hidden somewhere south in the Wilewood, which is why the Oak Stewards restrict travel there. They also post guards. On the night of your missing moment, all 7 of the guards at Sevenarches stepped through the portals, just like you did. But only one of them returned, a rather self-righteous Oak Steward named Bolan. When he returned, Bolan was a changed man, and not in a good way. After the High Council chewed him out for shirking his post, he stole an important Oak Steward artifact and hid out in the Wildwood along with some other malcontents that have rallied to his cause. From there, he's been sending these cronies of his to the city to harass the citizens, undermine the Oak Steward's authority, and recruit other discontented druids to his cause. His ultimate aim, as far as I can tell, is a full-on coup. Now, I don't know what happened to this Bolan character when he stepped through the arch, but whatever he knows, I figure that you will want to know it, too.
Where? He's in the wild, would you say?
That is what I have heard, yes.
Which is under guard and travel is restricted.
Yes.
How do we reach him?
Well, since Bolan is both dangerously antisocial and deep within this restricted territory, I would suggest you start by talking to the Oak Stewards. You had asked me before, I believe it was you, if I knew anyone in town, and I was purposefully coy. As it happens, I am on good terms with a mid-ranking member of the Druids' Council, a halfling named Lemma Feldthorn. I can, she reaches into her pack, pulls out some paper and like a quill. She's like, I can provide you with a letter of introduction so that you can meet her and offer to help with this Bolan situation. In doing so, you are bound to advance your investigation into the missing moment, and either way, the Oak Stewards are good allies to have. They have their hands full with this obnubulate curse and whatnot. Having a group of outsiders handle this business with one of their malcontents could serve you well down the line.
So, if the gates aren't real, maybe that's why you didn't get sick, Zephyr. Maybe there's a chance that if we were to find the real ones, that you could be in serious danger.
I mean, the gates weren't cursed, the town was cursed. And she's like scratching her arm a little bit.
Was that you got an itch?
Huh?
Is that a rash?
No.
How are you feeling? A bit flushed.
He puts his hand up on your forehead.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Right.
Sense motive.
Is that true though? Like the entire city was cursed, or is it because of the gates?
Well, they said it was because of the gate.
Right, so if the-
Proximity to the gates.
Right, so if the gates are fake,
Yeah, and it was a lie
Or
to keep elves out, or they thought it was real.
or the gates, even if they're outside of the city, the aura of the gates are so powerful that it extends and washes over the
How
city.
far outside of the city are we talking about? A couple miles, or like?
No, it would be, she doesn't know where it is, but she thinks it's deep within the Wilewood. It could be like a couple days' journey.
Oh man!
They're hidden out there. She's like,
All right,
Lemma may know more.
I take it back. We will roll for initiative. As it turns out, couple days' journey into the dark wood.
She has no idea. It could be weeks. It could be, she seems to think that they're pretty deeply hidden.
Okay.
Oh man!
Well, let's go fight this halfling.
No, it's just a friend of mine.
You said you wanted the halfling dead.
If we kill the halfling, you'll tell
She's
us what
one of the
gates
few
are.
friends I have.
should make
Linfelt Thorn
enemies.
will die tomorrow.
Yes, you have our word.
Consider it done.
Does Dr. Richardson have
Say
any
no
other
more.
apprentices?
Don't say any more.
They
Don't
don't
Say no
want-
more, say less.
She's the only friend I have in this.
Any more information is dangerous at this point.
Understood.
I think we know what you mean.
I'm winking.
Are there any more of Dr. Richardson's proteges?
No,
Could talk to.
just us.
We were the best at understanding.
Oh, God.
Where can we find this Lemmerfeld thorn?
She
And does she have any allergies?
She's in this.
should be in the
city?
Wicker House. Well, now they call it the Vine Hall. My people called it the Wicker House.
The wine hall? Wine hall?
Vine Hall.
Wait, sorry, is she?
Poison her.
Are you German?
No, it's a V. Vine. They love their vines here.
Is this in the city or is this? Sorry, where's Vine Hall?
Yes.
Oh.
If you look at
It's
the
on
map,
the eastern side of the city.
I will bring you back to the map of Sevenarches.
Ah,
See,
thank you for showing us this.
Oh, thank you so much.
it is just to the east of the Arch Plaza on the other side
Oh, I see.
of the Southron River.
Yes, so let's...
Every time you show us this map, there's something noted here as the quaking stacks, and I read it as the quacking stacks, so it makes me giggle.
That's at the corner of Library Way.
What is the Quaking Sticks?
That is a library
Oh,
here.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yes,
I think they named their library.
the Quaking Stacks.
Like, other than just like the Sevenarches Municipal Library.
I don't know.
Everything has a cool name.
Everything has a cool name.
yeah. All these names are really fun.
Have you been to the Minotaur's
Mansion.
mansion? Yes.
Oh, we
stayed
stayed there last
Well,
night.
except for the Justice House. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, Minotaur
Not a
Mansion
lot of
also.
imagination there.
That's a bagel shop.
The Minotaur Mansion was a bit of a maze.
Justice House Bagels.
Well done, Sydney.
Thanks, Matthew. You're the only one who cares about me.
You're having fun.
Anyway,
So, do you want some more juice?
no.
I've told you everything I know.
Let's return to the
The only thing we want to drink is wine. The wine hall.
Well, I think you've overstayed your welcome.
Ladies' Day.
Kurt, you can stop with that ruse. I'd like my disguise kits back, but
Oh.
may keep yours.
I wash all the paint off.
I will tell you, your disguise will not help you in the Wilewood. It is not about hiding who you are. It is about staying alive. That is wild country. Not only do they restrict travel to keep elves safe and to hide their secret, but it is also a dangerous, dangerous area.
So the wild country just meaning, this is a specific area? This is like anywhere around the city that's not like part of the city?
Yeah, if you were to look up a map of the River Kingdoms, you may even see like it's called the Wilewood. Like we're familiar with
okay.
the Verduran Forest.
We're familiar with
Yeah.
the Echo Wood, but it's basically like the River Kingdoms in general is a land, at least formerly before the Age of Lost Omens. I'm sure it's the same. It's a land with no king. There is no government.
It is a balkanized region.
Yeah, it's basically all miniature bandit kingdoms, essentially. And when you travel the woods, you are at a huge risk of not only
constantly at war with each other.
Yeah, wildlife, but also like everybody that moves through there, merchants, bandits. Everybody is like, no one trusts anyone.
Yeah.
And so there's a tendency to want to just like jump people and kill them rather than ask questions. So it's a very dangerous place to be moving through.
If you look in the Foundry VTT chat, I've linked a image of the River Kingdoms, if you want to bring it up.
Oh, cool.
And you'll see like to the north west is the Echo Wood.
Nice work, Troy.
It's a broken link.
When it comes to technology, no one better than my buddy
I
Troy
mean, I
Levan.
copy-pasted a link.
It
I
is
don't know what
a
else to do.
Absolutely broken link.
I'm gonna look up.
I clicked the link and it goes right through. So
I'm gonna go to the
reload.
guide to
Reload,
the
it'll do
River
it.
Kingdoms.
Really?
Yep.
Yep, my link worked fine. Echo Wood is to the northwest, but if you look, there's the Wildwood all the way to the southwest, right at the border of Keonan. And you'll see Razmirin is right there to the west as well. But now you see where Sevenarches, the city is.
The Wild.
I was like Wildwood, New Jersey.
Wild.
That's what I heard too.
Oh, Wildwood.
Wild.
Wildwood.
Like Wildwood. Go on the boardwalk and get some,
It's not the electric forest, Kate, but
Well,
it'll do.
Shit. No lasers.
But you see, yeah, that's pretty far where the city of Sevenarches is and where like the edge of the Wildwood is. So she's saying that they are hidden somewhere within there.
All right, so let's go talk to. I talked to Fionara's contact, friend.
Lemma Feldthorn?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So you head into the city and you go all the way to the eastern portion in the direction of the Vine Hall with Fionara's letter in hand. And with that letter, you are able to gain entry to the building. It is also called the Wicker House. She made mention of that. This is the structure's the closest thing the Oak Stewards have to a Capitol building. Like all the architecture here, you can tell that it was like once a ruined elven manor, that the Oak Stewards filled all the gaps with ivy and creeping vines. So now the Wicker House's living walls and floors are apparently stronger and more resilient than any normal wood, and it was renamed Vine Hall. You are ushered into a little sitting area, and within moments, a full-sized horse comes bounding into the room. And there's a halfling atop it just knocking shit off of the table and walls. And you hear a tiny voice just like, Mulberry, calm the fuck down. Mulberry, shh. But she's a little halfling on a giant horse. She's like,
On a full-size horse.
Yes, I'm sorry. She gets a little riled up around men. She can smell their penises. Anyways, I'm Lemma Feldthorn, and you are, according to this letter, friends of Fionara's.
Yes.
Buggles is terrified.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrified. He's huddled behind Zephyr's legs.
Oh,
Just
don't
trembling
be
and peeking out.
scared. Mulberry doesn't bite.
No, I know they do. The horses, they bite. They bite horribly.
No, not Mulberry. Mulberry only eats berries.
Maybe it will mistake my head for a berry.
Don't be silly. Here, I'll bring her into the other room. Oh, Mulberry! Oh, Jared, please! Mulberry bounds out of the room, knocking everything over.
Nope.
Just hear crash, 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 and then she comes back in. I'm so sorry. I'd like to make a grand entrance. What business do you have with the Oak Stewards?
Why would you bring a horse into a building?
This is what I do.
Fionara said we might be of assistance to you.
You and Fionara are two peas in a pod.
Yes, well, yes, fine. I can see that you are looking for something. Oh, yes, now that I'm really reading this here.
It appears you know some things. Well, I will admit the oak stewards are presently stretched a bit thin. The seeming disappearance of this obnubulate curse has created not just an ethical conundrum, as allowing elves in, pointing at you, but not on purpose, like she's just gesturing. She's like, allowing elves in could be a disaster should the curse return just as quickly as it disappeared. But it's also a matter of national defense, for without the curse, some fear the strained relationship between Sevenarches and neighboring Keonan might blossom into an actual conflict. Factor in these increased Gorga attacks, and the Oak Stewards have no time for Bolan's troublemaking. She says here that you may be able to help. Is that true? You are interested in helping us in our cause?
We have certain skills, investigatory, that we might be able to offer here in your search for Bolan.
I see. Well, Bolan's crimes, you must understand, go beyond a mere rebellion. In her letter, Fayanara alludes that you are aware of our secret as it pertains to the Archers. I trust Fayanara with my life, and so I would trust you as well if she would tell you this. I hope that you can be as discreet with that information as you will be with what I am to tell you. Before he left, Bolan stole the gate key for the real Seventh Arch, a fanciful jade amulet shaped like a leaf that we call the Shadewither Key. There are so few active gates left in Galarian due to the keys such as this being lost to time. We Oak Stewards take the responsibility of the Shadewither Key very seriously. Now I've heard rumors that he plans to use the key in some sort of evil ritual at the Arches a few nights hence. If you want to help, I can perhaps consult the other Oak Stewards, but I suspect they will agree that there could be a mutually beneficial arrangement here. While I don't know where Bolan himself is hiding, I can point you in the direction of the real Seven Arches. And if this plan is approved by all parties, we can provide you with a bark writ as well. This is an official pass, allowing you to roam freely in Seven Arches, including visiting the Wilewood and the real Ayudara. But in exchange, I would need you to investigate what Bolan is up to, disrupt any rituals he may or may not be performing, reclaim the gate key, and capture this rebel Oak Steward so that he may be punished for his crimes.
Sorry, horsewoman, you said something about a Bogart?
Bogart?
Right? Bockrate?
Bockrate?
He said a word.
It's the slip. It's the permission. The pass.
bark
to move
writ,
about
yes.
the city.
Bark writ.
Bark writ?
A bark writ, yes. Have you never heard of the bark writ?
Baccarat. It's a gambling.
No, it's a bark writ. Druids use them all the time. It's a druid thing.
Is it a writ of bark?
Yes. It's a pass that you will be able to use to show the guards that you are allowed to roam freely. Without it, you would be escorted out, or worse.
I have a question. So this Bolan,
Yes.
why are you yelling?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just very fired up.
This Bolan,
Yes.
the Oak Stewards are aware of his nefarious deeds, and they're looking for him. Why keep up the ruse? Here, with these archers.
Well, that is part of our history. It is much safer that people do not know where the real archers are. They could be exploited. And so they are protected by not letting anyone in the Wilewood. They are safe.
What do you know of the missing moment and the connection to your arches? Has one been observed? Did those Ayudar activate on the night of the missing moment began?
I know very little, but yes, I am to understand that they did, and all guards went through, including Bolan.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he was the only one to return.
But were all the guards there, ready?
Yes, the Ayudara, the real Ayudara, are always guarded, just in case someone were to...
Sorry, the real Ayudara, are they not all real? I'm not talking about your illusions in your town. I'm talking about the various Ayudara around the world.
Well, I know nothing of them, but I'm sure they are. I'm talking about the ones in the Wilewood.
When they activated, on the night of the missing moment,
Yes.
these 7, were they always active?
No, they could be activated with the Shade with a key. I myself have never used it. There are rumors that our higher-ups have used it from time to time to travel to other active Iodara in Golarion, but I have not been able to partake in such a thing.
Who was in possession of the key before Bolan stole it?
The key was here. On the night of the missing moment, the archers came alive of their own accord, and the guards that were stationed there, Bolan among them, walked through. Only Bolan returned.
How is it that all of the guards were there, stationed, ready at this time, coincidentally?
There are always guards stationed there.
There are always 7.
At that night there was. I'd have to check the schedule.
And he did not have the key.
I don't do the scheduling, you must understand. I'm just telling you what I know. There were
he did
7
not
guards
have
there
the
that
key.
night. No, but when he came back and rallied some of his friends to his cause, they stole the key and took it.
Who is the area of the real Iodara in Wilewood now?
Yes.
Is that area under the control of Bolan and his rebel cohort, or does the city have control over them?
It is my understanding that Bolan and his men now have control of the Iodara. If this
and the key
rumor of the ritual is true, I do not know what they are up to, but it is very dangerous. The Shade with a key is not something that can be used willy-nilly.
How long ago did he take the key?
This was a few nights hence.
So for months, many months, he never made an attempt to take the key.
No, he's been biding his time, sending his lackeys into town to sow discord, finding people to join his cause. There are others among him. There are other Oak Stewards and civilians that have joined with him.
Are the Gatewalkers?
No, to my knowledge, only Bolan.
Tell us everything you know about Bolan, and don't stop talking for 60 seconds because this has mechanical effects. Because I would like Talitha to pursue a lead on Bolan.
Druidism draws many adherents, mostly because they love nature, but others because they hate people. Bolan Nagaso has always been the latter. He grew up in the logging camps of Andoran, the son of parents with too many children and too little affection. Shy and scrawny, he was bullied by loggers' children and his older siblings. He took to spending as much time as possible in the woods, for here, in the quiet, among the trees, he could finally let his guard down. In time, he managed to make friends from local fae, brownies and sprites. Brolin prayed that one day he'd turn out to be a changeling, anything but the child of boorish humans. Yet time and time again, the same story would play out. Bolan would return to his favorite grove and find it clear-cut. His fae friends nowhere to be found. The loggers took care of the trees and what little friends he had. As he grew older, though, he filled out, and he used his new strength to fight these atrocities. Yet the loggers, those same childhood chums who spent their lives bullying him, only laughed as they continued to bloody his nose. Hopelessly, he tried to drink his troubles away, as the stories go. It was on one of these benders that he first heard of Sevenarches. In Sevenarches, people served nature, rather than the other way around. He learned of the Oak Stewards, nature's guardians who reminded citizens of the delicate balance between the needs of humanoids and those of plants and animals. Bolan set out immediately, vowing not to rest until he was apprenticed to these sagacious druids. It worked, and Bolan excelled in his training and soon became a full Oak Steward. With his knowledge and magic, he would say that he began to feel closer to the natural world than ever, while also appreciating the distance his status put between him and Sevenarches' deferential citizens. Yet his joy was short-lived. Bolan falsely believed that the Oak Stewards actually put humanoid interests first. He began to clash more and more with his superiors, eventually seeing them as just another petty hierarchy that was more concerned with international politics than truly safeguarding the natural world. He then volunteered to patrol the nation's borders, venting his merciless frustrations upon anyone he caught sneaking into Sevenarches. He was reprimanded for his violence, and he would serve a punishment, and then he would be put back on the line. To be honest, we were happy to let him roam away, have his position be out there, hoping that he would just one day roam right out of town. And then came the missing moment. Be careful what you wish for.
How long was he gone?
2 months. And in that time, there was a feeling amongst my friends on the council that it was for the best, though it pains me to say that. The others who left, we mourned them, but not Bolan. There was always a fear that he would do something like this. But then one day he returned. Different.
Are guards not restricted on policy to not step through gates?
They are, yes. You have to have the Shadewither key, and that is only given to the highest among the Oak Stewards. But it is my understanding that...
so many to break their vow.
Did it not happen to you? According to Fayanara's writ here, you too stepped through. All of you did.
Yes, but I had no vow. I had no... I did not serve the Oak Stewards.
Did you choose it freely?
I'd like to think I did.
Well,
Changed, you say? Changed how?
more angry, more vicious. Not right in the head. He always was a little off, but now he seemed emboldened by whatever happened on the other side of that gate.
And what of the others? They just never returned.
Never returned.
Like so many of us.
The rumors are that he has many to his cause now, and probably not just citizens and Oak Stewards. He's been out there for months now, doing who knows what. He must be stopped.
What is his cause? Does he wish to find his missing friends?
No, I believe it's anarchy. He wants to take Sevenarches for himself, for he believes that he has the true way of nature, and not us. He is misguided.
And this ritual you speak of, you know nothing of the not rumors of the details.
It is but a rumor, but these rumors end up being more true.
Is there a knowledge check I can roll about the keys to IDAR keys, like other possible applications?
Yeah, like he stole it. Why would he still need it? Like if he's gone through the gate, like what would be his plan with the key?
Unless he's just trying to keep it from someone who would want to use it.
Yeah.
Or they want to bring something through the gate.
Right.
Yeah, roll any of you can roll an Arcana on the idea of the key or the shade with the key. It's
Natural 20, 25.
Oh, baby.
22 for Talitha.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, as to what his motives are, you don't know what he wants it for. To be able to travel at will, maybe, to prevent other people from doing it, for him to control that. If he wants to take over the city, him having like the biggest power that they have makes sense.
But there's no you break the key and it unleashes some other, you can absorb another kind of power or some other kind of application.
You would think that to break the key, you could shut down use of that gate forever.
Yeah, I mean, just having control over it exclusively gives him a lot of influence and power. So,
are you satisfied that I'm pursuing a lead on Bolan, by the way?
Yes.
Official.
You're the GM.
I'm very satisfied. Fayanara was right to trust you.
Not you.
Let's move on.
All right, not you.
I wish you best of luck with your lead, as you call it.
The horse comes bounding back in. Mulberry!
No.
Mulberry, no! All right, I'll see you later! She rides up.
Why would you bring a horse into a house?
A druid, nonetheless.
I don't like them.
The horses?
No, I
In
don't
general,
like
or that
horses
one?
At all, any of them, especially that one. It was very energetic.
Buggles, have you never been on a horse?
No, I'd never be on one of those great beasts. Horrible.
I knew one brother like this at my abbey, Brother Halloran. He loved his horse a great deal and would often attempt to ride him into the Great Hall. Not that kind of love. Not that kind. I don't know where that came from.
See, Buggles,
What
there's nice horses.
Music.
There's really nothing to be afraid of with them, but that one's pretty.
I disagree.
Not
I disagree.
well-behaved.
You don't see them like I see them.
How do
I
you
see them for what they are. Beasts, monsters, murderers, killers.
Horses.
Horses, yes.
They're draft animals. They're creatures of
Drafted into
great
a war. A
friends.
great war against all of humanoid kind. I dodge that draft.
Buggles, I'm really,
I hope you're happy with yourself.
really not sure what you're getting at with the horse war talk.
Oh yes, this is. Is this not common among your people?
Buckles, it's okay. Nobody's gonna hurt you. Come here.
Sorry.
She puts her paw into your hand.
Good kitty.
Sorry,
As we always do.
6-foot kitty.
Kid, I pat you on the head.
Thank you. I've calmed down now. I just want to make it known that I don't want any horse-related gifts or any horse pranks to be played. So, oh, Buggles, he doesn't like horses. Let's slip one into his bedroom at night. Don't want any of that. I
That
won't
would be
find it
really
funny.
mean.
I don't like them. Just
You can rest assured we will not give you any horse-related gifts. Clarifying question. How do you feel about mythical horse-related animals? So unicorns off the table.
No, unicorn's just a horse with a horn.
Pegasus?
Probably worse. That's
Pegasus, a flying horse.
Worse.
Triple threat.
Okay, what about a pony?
Good question.
Small enough to avoid, perhaps, but still deadly.
I really got to look into this. I have no idea what he's talking
I
about.
wonder when my stabling
This is
door
a
is going
common
to come
fear
into
among
play.
goblins.
No,
With you around.
Yes. They hold a long standing grudge against the horses. But Buggles, I thought you told us that you were not raised among goblins. I find it fascinating that the fear is so innate, that it is not taught.
I was raised with some of my kind, but the stories I heard from the elders, there were no horses in my country until the big folk came. No offense. And when they did come, they crushed our skulls, broke apart our villages. They were the great, horrible mount beasts that the big ones rode in to subjugate us and kill us. Though I have little memory of it myself, I know it to be true.
And you feel it to be true.
I do, in my heart of hearts.
Lucky smiles a little bit, like her fangs like showing. They are incredibly powerful animals.
They are. You are very interesting, Buggles. Thank you for sharing with us.
I suggest we resolve our horse conversation so as not to traumatize Buggles further, and perhaps spend a bit of time gathering information amongst the town about Bolan, and then set out for the Wilewood.
I would like to go to the Quaking Stacks. I will meet up with you later.
I'd like to go to the Honeybrush Cabaret.
Well, I'll go to the Thornleaf Barracks where I can gather information about Bolan.
Oh, I'll come with you. I thought we would just all go in different places that we wanted to go.
Isn't that what was just happening?
I don't know.
The barracks sound
The way
fun.
Talitha said it made me feel like I was making a dumb choice, but
I should let you know, this ritual, if it were to happen, will happen in 2 nights hence, and it is a 50-mile journey to get to the arches.
We should go.
We will loan you our horses.
No!
If you'd like.
We'll loan you our horses. Her voice changes. Fangs come out of her.
face melts off.
Or perhaps an ox cart.
Oh, yes, that one.
Pulled by horses!
Buggles,
But
you
it
can
would
ride
be...
with me. It's fine.
It's a 2-day journey to get there. So whatever business you have here in Sevenarches, if you truly mean to help, now is the time. Get going. Make haste.
So we shouldn't see that show at the Honeybrush Cabaret.
I already
It's lovely,
got-
but it's playing for 3 weeks.
I got tickets for tonight, though. I didn't know we had to leave immediately.
Maybe we could put. Maybe you could sell them at a.
All right.
Oh, you're not going to use them. You could just, Mr. Feldthorn and I could just...
Well,
Take them.
I did buy them for, what was it, 20 silver a piece? I could
If I don't take them, though, they're just going to end up in the trash.
I guess they will in that case.
Yes, well, I happen to have a trash bucket right here.
Well, I could...
want to just...
I
hate to see you litter in Sevenarches, Oaks to it.
You're right. I won't take them. Just throw them out here.
Throw them in.
could give them to you
Don't
for
crumple them.
a steep discount. I mean, a 10 silver piece. That's basically
Oh, we don't get paid a lot here.
giving it away, though.
No, thank you, though. Just throw them in the waste bin. I'm so sorry you'll miss the show.
Oh, I might rip it, though.
Oh, don't
if
rip
I
it.
try
That's
to throw
foolish.
it.
It is an affront to the Oak Stewards to rip paper.
Well,
it's like
we-
cutting down a tree.
We could do 5 silver a piece.
No Oaks Stewart ever rips paper.
Never rip paper.
She puts her paw on the table with the 2 tickets.
If one of my superiors were to see you rip that paper, you'd be beheaded.
5 silver a piece.
How about 3?
I'm not going any lower.
4 silver pieces. Oh, I just happen to have exactly 4 silver pieces
What's
here.
in your pocket there?
That's just a condom.
Empty it. It's a very
Mr. Feldon and I are done.
I get the penis talk earlier. It makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
I'll take the 10 silver.
I don't have 10.
What's in the other pocket?
That's my keys. That's my
Empty?
keys. And all right, 5 silver here.
10 total. There you go.
God. Should they find your corpse, I want that 5 silver back.
I think Sydney deserves a bottle cap. for
You
this.
just got 5 silver for something you made up.
Yeah,
that you had and then sold to an NPC.
Spontaneously generated 10 silver.
Very insistent.
Very insistent. Very well done.
That should be a profession.
She's a swindler.
Yeah.
I know what Mr. Feldon.
That's basically how the stock market works.
Yeah, it's made up. It doesn't
Yeah.
actually exist.
You and Mr. Thalthorn enjoy your evening.
We will. I guess we won't get dinner.
I hope the show is good. Let's go.
Saint Michael brings out his holy sword, places his heel upon the neck of the serpent. For now, the hour is struck, the trumpet has been sounded, the dead shall walk again. The serpent comes, but upon all of them he shall place the mark of the beast.
So are we getting?
You want to just make it out there, head it out there?
Yeah.
Can we get a knife?
So we have no time.
I mean, if the rumors of this ritual are true, you're going to want to get there sooner than later. But you have if you want to do some quick stuff in town, go for it. I don't want to stop you from doing that. But if
All right. Well, he'll keep it quick. He has to go to the Quaking Stacks. He just it's like it's
I have
almost
to go
like
to the library to study.
Real quick.
Fast.
no, for him it's like being near a church in a foreign land. Like you have to go pay your respects, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so libraries are holy places to him, and so he will literally just go introduce himself and just see it for a moment, take it in, say a quick prayer, and then leave with the full intention to go back. I mean, what I really wanted to do is read about this whole surrounding area and stuff like that. You know what I mean? To kind of know what we'd be up against in
Can't
the
you
forest.
check out a book at the library?
I could ask.
Take it with you.
Yeah, but these libraries aren't usually like that. You don't check them out. They're so precious. They're
All right,
so
fine.
valuable.
We'll role play the circulation desk moment. Go on. Enjoy.
Go on, Joe.
Good afternoon.
oh, hello.
Oh, no.
Welcome to the Quaking Stacks. An old man comes up. Oh, it seems you are someone who enjoys a good book.
Yes, indeed. May the Keeper bless you.
Thank you.
The work you do here is truly blessed. Thank you.
I'm merely the person that checks books out to people, but I've always considered it to be an honorable position. Thank you for saying so.
I am Brother Ramius of Latria. You are?
Snail Foot Jones.
Sorry, is your first name Snailfoot?
Yes, it's Snailfoot.
Hello, Mr. Jones.
Please, call me Snailfoot.
Hello, Snailfoot.
Yes, in my family, you would be named after an insect and a part of the body. Yes.
Oh, do you have any siblings?
Yes.
Just an example, one of their names is a curious naming convention.
Also, a snail isn't an insect, by the way.
They're all ridiculous.
Can you think of even one?
Very tired.
Even one of your siblings.
Is this librarian crying?
And my brother Antip.
Snails are
Hand him
mollusks.
Jones.
They gotta be mollusks.
That'd be mollusk.
Snails are mollusks.
Name another mollusk.
Yeah, empty mollusks. True.
Well, you say you check books out. Do you happen to have any books here that I could
just
borrow?
thinking of Antip. He died. Makes me so sad.
Do you have any modern histories on the region? Any
histories
books about the surrounding governments, the surrounding lands, ownership, that sort of thing?
Honestly, you'd need a Bachrit from an Oak Steward to even gain access to the stacks here.
Well,
Can't imagine
that is convenient because I actually have one. And he goes into the folds of his big gray cotton robe and he pulls out a bark writ and politely shows it to this Snailfoot Jones.
I see.
And when you rolled up on this was one of the city's tallest structures.
As it should be.
And it's unlike any of the other buildings. You can tell that it used to be a spiraling stone tower that tapered at the top, but the ruins have been taken over by a grove of trees that look like they shouldn't be there, and you can see them on the other side of where he's standing. And so it's huge. All the stacks go all the way up in this spiral of not a staircase, but you can see there's a way to get up. But then beyond there is a grove of trees with one great tree. And he says, if you had enough time with this Bachrit, you could commune with the library tree. But do you have a lot of time?
I'm afraid I'm in a bit of a rush. How much time?
You have to return. With this, you would
Yes.
gain access. It is an honor to be able to do such a thing.
Yes, I would love to do that. What an incredible place you have here.
Yes.
Is there anything you could recommend, book-wise, that I could check out, perhaps, and take on my journey?
What do you like?
Wanted a book about the
Perhaps a
local
mystery?
region.
Oh, the region, yes. Not one for history. I enjoy a good mystery.
I don't do much fiction, I'm afraid.
History of the region. What region in particular? Sevenarches?
The Wildwood Forest.
The Wilewood Forest.
What's it called? Wildwood? Wildwood. The Wildwood.
Yes, hold on.
And he leaves. And he comes back 40 minutes later because he's really slow.
It's here, I found one. It's on the history of the Wilewood. I think you'll find it to be most interesting, and there may be a little mystery in it as well.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And he takes one of the books that are strapped onto one of the leather straps hanging from the side of his backpack and removes it and puts it deeper into his backpack. Takes this book, puts it closer to him, snapping it on, and he'll say, good day, I will return.
Good day. You
To
remind
commune
me
with your tree.
of my aunt, Wasp Knuckle.
Well, she sounds like a lovely woman.
She was very handsome.
What was her last name?
Wasp Knuckle Jones.
Oh, also Joan.
She kept her name when she married.
When she married who?
Some guy named Bill.
Because he wasn't subject.
He wasn't
Beholden to the naming convention.
Did they have children? What naming convention
No,
did they
they
adopt
never
for their
had children.
Well, that's a shame.
Because I'll start crying again after.
All right, he will take that book and, he'll go and reconnect with everybody.
We've already left.
What? Wait for me! And Monk starts running up the road toward you, following the ox cart that is clanking out of town. We are doing an ox cart?
I really want a horse.
A horse would be most advantageous.
I could always scout ahead if I had one.
What if we blindfold Buck?
Already half deaf. Make me blind as well.
Hey, Buckles. And I kneel down. I'm very tall. Would it be okay if I rode a horse?
Well, I would be afraid for you, but I know you're very brave. I think you could handle yourself even against one of those horrible things. So I suppose that would be all right.
I really appreciate you saying that. I think I'll be okay, but I know you'll have my back.
I will.
I'm gonna go get a horse now.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll miss her so much.
I think we all will get horses. I'll just get one.
I'll walk with
That would be
Buggles.
great.
We should. Well, let's get a cart for Buggles.
Yeah, Brother Ramus, you can't walk the whole way.
I've walked a long way to get here.
But a dog cart? Is that a thing?
No! Ah! Dogs down!
Dogs are even worse.
Sorry.
Talitha, dogs are even worse.
Dogs ate my ears! I watched it happen!
Oh gosh.
Oh my.
They would eat the unruly.
Is there some kind of beast of burden that might pull a cart that you would ride in?
Camel?
Okay, great. We're making progress
Llamas,
here.
alpacas, elephants, mastodons, triceratops, mules,
Mule.
Mule. There
we
we
could
go.
do.
mule carts.
Mule.
So we get a mule and a cart for Buggles.
Technically not horses.
A mule, an ox cart, and 3 horses. So a mule-drawn
And
ox
so,
cart.
yeah, and Brother Ramius will drive the mule cart with Buggles in the back.
Yeah.
3 horses.
And I'm riding a black horse.
The best.
I'm a black cat on a black horse. You can't even see me.
Oh, wow.
And you head into the Wilewood. By now it's late afternoon, and you want to get out to make good headway because you'll have to camp out in the Wilewood at night. And you get about a half a mile in or so when you hear like these sounds, and then all of a sudden like 5 oak stewards emerge from the growth around you. It's like, sorry, the road is not safe for travelers. You must turn back.
We are here under the direction of the oak stewards themselves. Brother Ramius, if you might.
Yes,
Slow.
please. I simply wish to show you our Bakrit that we were given so that we could make our way south. And he hands over the Bakrit.
Oak. Good.
Hold on.
They're fine. They got a bucket. It's oak.
Why?
This is a pine writ!
I
What
know
is
it's
this,
fake.
maple? Why is the road unsafe?
We know about this.
I want him to tell me what's going on.
Well, they told us they're blocking everyone from going down to where the real arches are. You had to have a Bakrit.
I didn't know if there was like
Yes.
something that they were just
Specific.
specific.
Yeah, those horrible shadow beasts with the shadow.
Gorgugs?
eyes. Gorgas.
Gorgas?
Careful. The Wilewood is full of many fake creatures, some friendly, some not. And from the looks of this Bakrit, you know there are other troubles as well.
Are there any guards between here and there? Or is this the last line?
This is the last line.
Okay then.
We have friends, so they will watch you.
We appreciate that.
And they look to the sky.
Are they here now?
Please, continue on.
Can I roll a perception to see if he wants us to die? Because it really seems like it. That is a 25.
No, you don't get that sense at all.
All right.
The Bakrit gives you passage, but this is a dangerous area.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't you guys lead the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll head out in front with
clop.
you.
Yeah. Zephyr and Lucky lead the pack.
What's the mule's name, Skin?
Doug.
Doug the mule.
There you go, Doug. Let's go.
Hey now, Doug.
Hey there, Dougie.
So you head in, and during the day, it's not so bad. There's a lot of sounds and stuff you hear. Maybe some growling here and there, but there's a lot of you.
The sound of the wood.
And hopefully only one predator from time to time that might be scared off by your party of horses and mule. And eventually night falls, and it gets dark in the canopied forest above earlier than it would if you were in the open city. And so eventually you find a clearing with which to camp. Let's talk about this camp scene, which has become sort of one of our calling cards. You guys have known each other now for, I would say, at least 2 months, maybe a little less. You've been out of the gate for 3 months. Let's say it took you a month to find Riddleson's cause. I imagine the relationships are forming a little bit, maybe some faster than others. What's a night at a campfire like for the 5 of you?
I think just generally for Buggles, he was afraid of big folk, just generally.
The two talls.
The two talls. Like, because he had never in his life met one that was kind to him. And so these people represented the first of the people that had been kind to him. So I think that he's at the point now where he's become attached to this group. But I think he's still wary. So yeah, I think he's just like, he's still like, I think he's super shy, and he's just like kind of trying to make himself useful, but not kind of unobtrusively, I would say that.
Yeah, I think Lucky, it was one of those situations where like she didn't expect to make friends, but it kind of just happened. She finds Buggles very interesting. Like, she's never met a goblin like Buggles. She finds Brother Ramius so dry, but funny. Zephyr, she like feels a kinship with Zephyr. Like, she finds similarities with her, Zephyr and Talitha. It's like these sisters, sort of. But she can get very solemn sometimes. I think when they bed down for camp, she's very boisterous during the day, and she's a big fighter. And then at camp, sometimes she just like takes a walk around the perimeter. I'll take watch. And she just gets up, and you just hear her like singing to herself as she walks around. That's sometimes what she does. And it's in her like mother tongue. Follow, mahoy, moi, moi, moi. Just like in the distance sometimes.
What's Zephyr?
So yeah, I feel like she probably doesn't know all of you that great yet, but having like a crew around like more regularly, this is probably very nice and new. I feel like she probably likes hanging out with all of you, but also at night is excited to like withdraw back into herself and do like her routine, her nighttime routine.
What's your skincare routine at night?
Skincare routine. I'm not sure what she does at night. I know like in the mornings, I imagine her like waking up and having like maybe a stretching type of thing and exercising and doing her wraps. I'm not sure what she would do at night, maybe like undoing her wraps and just like relaxing and trying to shut down and meditating maybe. So I feel like maybe she's off on her own doing that. Inviting Buggles if he wants to join. I feel like she wants to take care of you and make you not scared. Yeah.
What about old Talitha?
I think Talitha also clings to the kind of social unit we've created here and is disappointed when everyone wants to go do their own thing.
You could go on a walk with...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She'll go on a walk with Lucky to kind of patrol around, listen to you singing.
But we don't talk.
We don't have to talk.
It's the good sign of friendship is when there's silence.
You need to talk.
You don't have to fill the air.
Great friendships is when one person just sings and the other person stands walking in silence.
I think they do talk. I think her and Talitha might like gab a little bit. Like every so often it's like something from their past is like just like let out on the wind.
Yeah.
And it's...
I don't think Talitha would ever admit this even to anybody here, but I think she feels very comforted that maybe like a fighter like Lucky with us too. She like makes her feel a little more safe.
Yeah, I think that's for Buggles too. Just I think this group makes him feel a little bit safer. He's still like scared pretty much all the time, but he feels safer with you guys. But it's like, and I think he is like particularly attached to Zephyr. Yeah.
What about Brother Ramius, kind of the odd man out?
Yeah, I think he often asks you all at different times when it's appropriate and not invasive, like about your gate moment and about who you are. And sometimes he writes as he talks to you, sometimes he doesn't. But he seems genuinely interested in who you are as people. But you would notice over time, you gotten to know him for a couple months, that like he doesn't say much about himself. He doesn't talk much about. He never mentions his gate moment. Even on asking, he just says, "Don't remember really." And this night, at this campfire, I think similar to Buggles and Talitha, he feels uncomfortable being thrown into this situation. Like he's a researcher and a scholar and a priest, in a way, not even a priest, a brother. He's not an adventurer, and he is not equipped to defend himself in the wild. So he is very glad for Lucky and for what it seems like Zephyr can do. So he's definitely a little nervous, and I would say tonight he would also try to make it some polite excuse to step away, for a moment, and nature calls, that sort of thing. Step out of the firelight and a good distance away, and then, see him sort of like hands shaking, like just like go into his robe, like pull out this like a piece of parchment, and just sort of like slowly tear it down the middle and like put some back, and then like sit down up against a tree, like place this parchment on his knee, and then like go deep into his robes again and pull out this like dried leaf. It looks like tobacco. He starts like breaking it up into the book paper and rolling it, and it's flay leaf.
Yep.
He like rolls it up, and then like looking over his shoulder, like lights a tinder twig and like starts smoking flay leaf like off in the woods, and it's like his hand is shaking and his body is shaking, and then within a few moments he eases down, sort of smiles for a moment, and then just like tears start running down his face.
Can I ask everyone a quick question? Which of us would go home if they could? Would anyone?
No.
Not that I wouldn't want to go back, but not right now.
You're weird.
I think Lucky has maybe said, like, if this ever came up, Lucky has said, I have no home.
Yeah, I think Talitha would say, "What's home?"
Yeah. Okay. I mean, so that's something that would also
Yeah.
that's common ground for each of us too.
Yeah, you would also get the sense that Ramius is absolutely dedicated to finding out what happened
Yeah.
when he went through that portal.
Yeah.
I think Talitha might share the fact that she has a brother who also went through the gate and has not returned. And that is kind of her.
This is one of the people we're looking for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you're all kind of going through this. This is your first night outside together. I think that in your time with the doctor, even when you were traveling from Ustalav to Sevenarches, you were staying in inns, maybe not the nicest inns in town, but he took care of your room and board. So now you're out under the stars, although you look up and the thick canopy of trees, you can barely see any stars. It's dark, it's creepy. Maybe by candlelight before you go to bed, you start looking through on the history of the Wilewood by like some doctor, some scholar. And, you don't get too far before you go to bed. You want to be ready to go in the morning.
Hopped up on flay leaf.
Hopped up on flay leaf.
Wait, what is flay leaf? Is
It's like a hallucinogen.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
drugs.
Are we aware? Or are you successful?
He's hiding it.
He thinks he's hiding it, so I mean it's kind of up to you
Like
guys.
Talitha, our master detective,
Yeah, it's kind of
would be
up to
able
you
pick
guys.
up on
Could
it.
smell
He's a
something on it.
user.
Could I do can I do a perception to see if I
I think you're trained in perception. You spend enough nights with him, you might smell something on him, but not know for sure, and certainly not press.
not gonna pry,
Yeah,
but
is it like illegal?
in some places, not in the River Kingdoms.
Yeah.
Where there's no law, but yeah, it is. It's a very like low end hallucinogen.
Okay.
Natural hallucinogen.
We've also established, Talitha, from your backstory that you hung out in the dirtiest taverns in town. You know Flayliff.
I know flay leaf.
But
You've also known him to smoke like tobacco.
Yeah.
As well.
So it wouldn't be that weird, maybe. But
it's a
Spliffing.
flay leaf spliff.
Flay leaf.
Flay leaf spliff.
Flay leaf spliff. So you're reading about it, and you read that the Wilewood is the largest forest in Sevenarches, full of fae and wild magic. And the rumor is that 1 out of every 10 animals in the Wilewood has been awakened to fae magic.
Whoa.
Man,
Wow.
I hate Fae stuff.
Yeah,
like,
you do.
generally,
Really?
that's one of my least favorite things. But this is cool.
There are no roads larger than a footpath cutting through the dense interior of the forest. And, you've also felt what you read a passage. It's like everywhere you go, you feel like dozens of unseen eyes watching you. And there's all these stories about the Fae who inhabit the area, kind of treat the Wilewood as their sovereign nation. And the Fae that are friendly sort of have an accord with the Oak Stewards. The book mentions the Oak Stewards. And those who are not friendly kind of have their own way of doing things. And then you read this story maybe as you're drifting off about a hydra that once stumbled into the Wildwood and came upon a gateway to the first world and was able to commune with the gateway and cause havoc until she was eventually put down. And you go to sleep. And you wake up now, hopefully, less than a day away from the location that Lemmefeldthorn gave you. So you douse your fire, gather your things, load up Doug the Mule, and head out. About halfway through the second day now, the sun, did it set early today, or is it just unnaturally dark in this area of the forest? You're not sure. But it suddenly opens up into a clearing, roughly 400 feet across, long, waist-high grass ahead of you as far as you can see, blowing in the wind, like something out of a samurai movie. Gently rolling landscape. And you see, way in the distance, past this open field, a clearing in a huge stone arch rising about 50 feet into the sky in the center of this clearing, far away, and there looks to be some activity in front of the clearing.
We've reached St. Louis.
You've reached St. Louis.
Lucky says, that's the Space Needle. We made
It
it.
was Pike's Place.
It's Pike's Place. Hold on. There's movement up ahead.
I just want to say I haven't had a chance to do it with all the roleplay and everything, but just letting you know, like, I don't have a lot of spells to prepare, but when he's praying in the morning, he's praying for his, like, combat set. His, like, we're in a dangerous area.
Blaster spells.
Oh, yeah.
Blaster stuff.
And Buggles casts mage armor on himself during his morning preparations as
Great.
well.
Should we? Can I do a perception check?
Sure.
So I'm going to give you. If this is Bolon or his, I would get a bonus to this with my Pursue Elite. But
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
natural 19. So that is going to be a 25.
Okay. You can hear sound. Again, this is a few hundred feet away. Muffled voices. And you see, like, something is going on near the base of the arch. But because of the grass and the distance, you can't see. And you can't make out who the figures are either. Maybe they have similar headdresses to the Oak Stewards. It's tough to tell.
Perhaps we should leave the horses for a moment and approach on foot.
Cut through the grass.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be hard to get the cart through this.
All right, Doug. Take it easy. We'll be right back. And he'll tie up Doug. And I'll do a perception too. Again, as we're moving closer.
Yeah, I will as well.
Do one as well.
Same.
That is a 15 for Brother Ramius.
It's a 7 total.
It's a dirty 20.
So you're trying to look as you move through the grass. It's coming up over your waist. It's awful. If you ever walked in grass like this, you're like, hope nothing awful is in here. I can't see snakes at my feet. You're walking through, and this whole glen seems shrouded in twilight. And it's too early in the day for it to be this dark.
Arcana?
Something is wrong here.
Oh dear.
Is there magic at play? Like, can I do an Arcana check?
It does feel you. Do any of you have detect magic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a cantrip? Mm-hmm. Okay. If you're just like, you feel it. The presence
of magic.
Of otherworldly fey magic is just influencing this area.
Just be aware. There's magic here.
I draw my Kopesh and Wakazashi.
There is a fey presence, and who knows what we will see. But you cannot necessarily trust your senses.
Was there
Think carefully.
anything in your book about a stone arch?
Not that I recall. It was mostly about the wildlife.
It's possible it's an illusion.
It's always possible with Fae. Everything could be an illusion. Everything you see, everything you hear.
I cut the grass with my Kopesh.
As you cut the grass with your Kopesh, using your dirty 20 perception, you see something moving in the thick grass up ahead. And suddenly it just appears like 20 feet away from you in a second. And it looks like a hound, except its eyes
Oh no!
are giant black pools.
Oh no! Come on! And we'll see you next week.
Natural twilight. I wonder why. Gorgas, Doug!
Gorgas.
God, they're gonna hide every round.
Not the Gorgas.
Not the Gorgas.
Oh my God, we're gonna roll for initiative next week. We're rolling for initiative.
Next week.
So excited.
Next
Next week.